Hi, I'm Stefan Nilsson, also known as Trendstefan. I'm here with Elisabetta.
Yeah, I'm Elisabetta Rizzato, also known as Italianbark, and we are here from Paris to where we saw the fair
Maison Objet.
and also the Paris Design Week.
Yes, so we've been here now. You were here on Thursday already,
Yes,
and I came on Friday. And we've been running around and we're going to share everything we've seen with you.
yes, exactly. We are going to share everything in 3 episodes.
Yes, so this first episode is going to be about the overall impression and also some of the major trends that we've seen. And then the second episode,
We will go more in detail into the fair, so with some brands, some things that we didn't know, some brands that we noticed, some new designers, and also the color trends. And in the third one,
then we're going to talk about materials and
Yep.
sustainability,
Yep.
and maybe a little bit more about happening in the city, right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we need to start because the event
Yeah.
was really big.
And we have a lot to
Yeah.
talk about. But so how was your week, Elisabetta?
It was long
Yeah.
and very busy.
Yeah, very busy.
So yes, we've been at the fair the first 2 days. Then we went around the city, and we've been here also in the March edition. And I have to say that this edition was much bigger.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact,
Yeah,
you know the numbers.
Yeah, I have the numbers. I checked also with the organizers, and the fair has around 2,300 exhibitors, and out of these, 700 were new. So there was
It's
a
a
lot
lot.
of new
Yeah.
things to take in, new exhibitors, new brands, new friends. So yeah, it was busy. But it was fun, I must say. The
Yes,
energy,
really.
energy was really, really high. And the brands I talked to, they were really happy with the number of exhibitors, and people were buying and very,
Yes,
very happy.
everybody was really happy
Yeah.
about it.
So should we share some films about our tour at the fair first? We'll start with that.
Yes. Okay, so now we are going to talk a bit more about what is happening actually, because now the fair is still going on.
Yep.
And at the fair, so I'm starting about telling you my must-see.
Yep.
So the things that I thought that were really relevant.
Yep.
And the first thing was the Color Power exhibit,
Very
because
nice.
of course I really like researching about colors,
Yeah.
and I think that was really nice. It was by Elisabeth Leriche,
Yeah.
and she's a researcher, of course, about trends and colors. And in this exhibit, did you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
I really like it because there was one part all about softer colors, glasses, colorful glasses, and another part that was divided into different kind of settings with strong colors like oranges, greens, really strong colors. And also there was this big table with all these mood boards of materials that was really
I saw you take pictures of it.
I think
But
there
it was
were a lot
nice
of
because it had like
pictures.
different levels of information, so you could like look at the larger scale and the larger room, and also on the details. So I really liked that too.
Also there were, for example, a lot of tiles, also a lot of different materials, some shiny, some matte. So I think it was interesting for decorators, for interior designers, and also for people who are looking for trends and new things.
Yeah.
So that was my the first exhibit that I noticed. The second one is not an exhibit, but is a space. That is the Palais Exotique, designed by Italian Cristina Celestino.
It's a restaurant. Right?
Yeah, it's a restaurant. And it was a special restaurant because they had all this food made of with tea.
Yeah.
Somehow with tea. And I really liked the design of the space. Was as well.
And she, in this sense, she also becomes the designer of the year.
Yep.
Here at the
exactly.
Maison Objet. Yeah.
Good to mention.
Yeah.
And it was really colorful, with also some Mediterranean inside, some Mediterranean feeling, like some tiles, some terracotta, these kind of colors.
Yeah. And
What
I'm like medium happy with this exhibition. We talked about it, and I felt like I've seen her exhibitions with flowers. She did it in Milan, for instance. So I had higher expectations. It felt like a bit of like an ordinary restaurant. I was not
Oh,
too impressed. It was okay.
no, I really liked it, and also I know the fact that they put together very fast
Yeah.
all the space because they started really like 2 months ago or something like that. So I think that the work overall was really good at the end.
I've seen
And
better. Yeah.
and so going on with some other events and exhibits that I would like to mention, and let me know what do you think about them. There was the exhibit about the young talents. So every edition, Maison Objet focus on some young talents selected by a jury and taken from different countries. So
Yeah.
in March it was from Japan.
Yeah.
This time was from Dutch.
Yeah.
And from Dutch there are always nice kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
design
They're
and
very talented. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
experimental designs and materials.
Yeah.
And for example, I noticed one that I took the name is San Terway. It's called, I will put the name after.
Yeah.
That do all these kind of artworks with metal, pigments, and these small frames of metals working with pigments. So the result is really beautiful.
I found another one that I liked.
Yeah?
There was the colorful one with a yellow table with green legs and
Yes,
pink
yes.
chair. I like that too. That was also very nice. I had a red lamp. That was nice. And that's going to be one of my color trends for tomorrow. Red.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yes.
Red. Where did you hear that first?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll listen to the next episode. But I thought it was nice. But did you also see the French young, not studenty, but there was like also section in Hall 7 with French designers.
Yeah.
That was also like, they're not so fresh as students, but rather like early craftsmen, you could say.
Yeah, in fact, I took note also about one girl from there.
Yeah, the one with the glass tables.
Yes, the glass tables, exactly.
Yeah, she was nice.
That was nice. Really nice. And I don't know if you have something else or.
Well, my first
what
impression,
did you do?
What's on my must list is, of course, people. I mean, when I go here, you meet people you haven't seen for 2.5 years. I thought it was lovely. It's like meeting friends and in the industry. It's like meeting brands, meeting people, meeting journalists, meeting buyers. I met some buyers from Sweden and from Scandinavia, and of course we talked about what's happening, and we were talking to exhibitors like, so what's the shift, what's happening now, and I think that hospitality in general, I mean hotels, the whole hotel industry is exploding.
Really? So after the pandemic, because with the pandemic, of course, they got slowing down, but then probably is a reaction.
I think retail is still struggling. I mean, the stores are still struggling, and I think that we're going to see more like interior architects and architects who come to Maison Objet to buy things for hotels. So the hotel industry, the hospitality industry.
We were also talking about this actually. That the fair is really good also for people who have to buy, of course, objects for shops, but also for hospitality projects, contracts, all this kind of.
But now we need to show some films of what we've seen. Otherwise, you forget what we talked about.
Okay, see you.
And welcome back. And I think it's time to talk about trends, Elisabetta.
Yes, exactly. We are here for.
That's what we're here for. So did you see any new trends here at Maison Objet?
I see something new, and I've seen a lot of confirmations as well of things we have already seen that are much stronger now. I'm starting, or do you want to start?
You can start. You can start.
I start, and then you tell me if you agree or not.
I have my list.
Yeah, I also have. We started. be prepared. And so the first trend that I noticed is about ceramics. Of course, we have to mention that Maison Objet is a fair about Maison and also objects. So there were lots of objects, of course, and lots of ceramics everywhere, really like vases. I wonder where are all these vases going? I mean, people love buying vases, probably, objects and decorating homes to have a cozier home. I think this is the reason. And the thing that I noticed is about the wabi-sabi ceramics. That is something that is going on for the last years. So the wabi-sabi is that effect of raw feeling, and that ceramics, for example, with the tactility and these borders that are a bit ruined, like irregular borders, and also some darker ceramics. And also, I've seen instead a lot of white ceramics, all kind of different whites, always with tactile effect, but all white. This is one kind of, but there are also different ones. So I don't know.
Yeah, I saw some ceramics too, but I also surprisingly saw a lot of glass. Like glass tables, glass pieces that you have in the
glass vases as well.
Yeah,
talking about vases and objects,
large vases. So not so much more than.
So it's something that is really in contrast with wabi-sabi, because there is this raw kind of, and then this really smooth, like the glass.
Should I do one trend? I don't know what I should call this, but I see a lot of like Greek statues or ancient statues that's been sort of like interpreted.
This was also in my notes.
Like of course been made into vases, but I saw like pillows. I saw different kinds of things, just wearing a lot of these Roman or Greek statues.
Yeah, there was also the exhibit about from India Madhabi. That was all about Greek inspired furniture, with this massive furniture inspired by Greece. So this is definitely one trend. And always talking about objects, I saw this, I'm not sure if it's okay to call anthropomorph shapes. So all shapes inspired by physical objects, heads or hearts, or so this is a kind of the part of the organic trend, that is something big, or also of course inspired by natural elements. So everything organic is still really strong now. I think so. Do you agree? Or?
I'm not so sure, but that's okay. You can see your hearts and feet and whatever. I'm going to say, before we do the video reel, I want to say that I saw a lot and lots of vintage, and I think it's interesting to see, because one of the challenges with vintage is that you can't find them in many copies. So now people are reproducing vintage looking pieces, like Vitossi home, for instance, the Italian glass tableware. So you start producing things that look vintage, and I see that as something
lot in the table. You're right. A lot in the tableware. There was this vintage that it was a reinterpretation of old kind of ceramics put into a more fun kind of vintage. So
and now it's time for a video reel.
Yeah, we will show some next samples. Hello again. So we showed you some examples of some of the trends that we spotted. Now we are going into something else. Some
Yeah.
other trends, sorry.
Some other trends, yeah.
Yes, because we have a long list. So we
Yeah.
are heading into some other trends. So what's your next?
Maybe I should talk about fun design or humor. We've seen that before. We saw the Alice in Wonderland trend, for instance, and we've seen humor before, but it's coming back. And I think that we need some humor and fun in our lives.
Yep.
I saw, for instance, we spoke about Roman statues. I saw
Yes.
in one of the, I think they were Dutch, or maybe they were French. They did like trays, and they had like Roman statues on it, and they were cross-eyed, going like this.
Oh.
And that's funny.
Yeah,
and then you start smiling, and it's funny.
Yeah, kind of surrealism,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, we will talk about the brand more in detail in the next episode. Yeah, because I have some examples in mind, but
yeah, and humor is. I think that we need that, and I think that also for shops, and good gifting. I mean, of course. So yeah, fun and humor is coming back.
Yeah, also
finally.
in the Christmas.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the also Christmas.
Absolutely. I would say.
Decoration.
I also filmed that too. But I think also it's important to, as an opposite to the wabi-sabi and the coziness. This has more energy, so it's like more fun, lively, energetic.
Yeah, and also the finishes actually are different. Also, as well, they are more shiny, for example, more smooth than the raw wabi-sabi that I mentioned before. So there are these two opposites.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have another trend?
And yes, I have another trend that is a trend that we have already seen, but is really, really strong now. That is about curved furniture.
Yep.
Curved furniture.
Curves in general, I would say.
Curves in general. I think there is nothing in square. I don't know.
Yeah. But what I mean when I say curvy is that sort of like this even thing. So you see mirrors with this thing, and you see
everything.
Legs with this sort of like curves and
all kind of curved shapes or irregular curves.
So
as well.
Not the curved sofa, because I think that the curved sofa is out. We've seen that now, so it's been mass produced, but this sort of like,
maybe the wavy.
Yeah, like wavy or curvy.
Lines.
Yeah. So you see candle holders being this curvy. It's like everything is curvy.
Yeah,
I'm going this with my finger, but I hope you understand what we're going to show you. So don't worry.
I don't know where this inspiration comes from. I don't
curvy.
Know. From the ocean. I don't know. From the.
It's a curve.
It's also about
it's a curve.
Again about the fun design.
Yeah. I think it's also like a retro thing as well. So it's the 70s, I think, flirtation.
Yeah. In fact, you were mentioning as well about the vintage returns. So I think this is one of the examples.
Yeah.
And I was also, but I think this is part of the same trend, all the twisted shapes and the tubular shapes. So again, about curves and curves.
Yeah. I'm just,
Elizabeth. You're tired about this?
Elizabeth started talking about the tubular shapes. We've seen the armchairs, we've seen the sofas. It's like,
I know, but we have to tell them.
Yeah, but it's nothing new. You've seen the tubular things before.
Yeah, but we have to tell you.
Yeah, okay. Can I say something new?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
I saw, as a reaction to this sort of like matte surfaces with like ceramics and everything, I see a lot of shimmer. So shimmer, I would say, come back. Both in glass, as I said before, I see a lot of glass with this shimmer effect, but also ceramics with shimmer effect. And I think that's, it's a new thing.
Do you mean like the Moroccan tiles as well? Like very, like the Zelig tiles?
No, I mean, if you look at this vase, I mean, we're just going to show you, of course, later. But I mean, here, there's like a shimmer effect on this glass.
Okay.
So it's like an oily effect almost. Like that. So,
Because I was
not
mentioning
metallic, but
tiles.
rather,
Yeah, because one other trend that I saw at the fair is all about the ethnic design, the eclectic design, because Maison Objet is really known everywhere for having lots of booths all about this furniture that comes from Africa, from the India, from the East. And I think that is really interesting for people who are working in the industry or for interior designers, because it's really nice to incorporate some of these elements inside, and you can find there things that you cannot find everywhere. At least you have to travel there and come back here with your chair, but it's not so easy. So I think this is something interesting from the fair. And
I think that's it.
yeah, I think we have plenty of
our
things to
time
show
is
you.
up with the trends, so we're going to now, with our first episode, we're going to end this with some pictures, of course,
Yes.
of the trends that we've been talking about, and then we're closing this episode, and we're going to see you with the next episode, and then we're going to be talking about colors.
Exactly.
And also some of the new brands and some of the old brands that really impressed us.
Exactly.
So see you next time.